What more can I say about Star Wars Outlaw? Probably one of the bigger disappointments from Ubisoft. They took on two of the biggest movie franchises, Avatar and Star Wars, and made a game out of them that felt like it was put together by a bunch of interns learning to make a game. I'm not saying I can do better, but I'm not that bad at my job. They wanted to make a quick buck betting on the popularity of the franchise to sell them the copies, which I think they did. The only reason why Star Wars Outlaws sold a million copies just might be because of that. I was really excited about Avatar when it was first announced. I even thought of buying the early access copy by pre-ordering it. Getting to roam around Pandora and flying the beasts were just great ideas for a game. But somehow, Ubisoft made that not very enjoyable. It was not a bad game in my opinion, the visuals were great, but the same thing that you do over and over again, one of the most forgettable storyline, and lack of innovation held it back big time. And the same is true for Star Wars Outlaw as well. The game just keeps on giving you missions that are simply way too boring. The storyline was not that impressive and the amount of bugs were just out of the roof. And not to mention the horrible expressions. It's kind of like a trend these days, to not worry about facial expressions. Starfield was one of the big names that started it and many games followed. But that's just the way things are now. But the real news we have on our hands is that all of this might change with Star Wars game. Recently, a new creative director has taken the place of Julian Garrity, or Garrity, sorry if I butchered the name. Now most people think that because of the sales, he was fired or kicked out of the project. But he's a very respectable man in the Ubisoft company and most likely he is now working on a new project and Drew Rechner took his place as the creative director for Star Wars Outlaw. In the update 1.4, he says that there will be some overhauls which will enhance the player experience. Ubisoft says that update 1.4 will change the game's feel and approach, specifically in combat. Oh my god, I haven't even begun on the combat yet. It was so bad that some people went out of their way to avoid it. I saw one Reddit post, which must have been deleted because I can't find it anywhere, which said that the user went the long way using stealth just to not get into combat. Yeah, it was that bad. Ubisoft said this before the update. Your feedback has already resulted in 3 title updates in which we have focused on fixing some of your biggest concerns such as bugs, reducing major friction points in some key missions, particularly around stealth, adjusting the speeder camera and collision, and much more. That being said, there are 3 key areas in which we're looking to improve the game even further. The first key area of improvement to the game is combat, where we see a real opportunity to add more depth and excitement to the experience, further rewarding your tactics and precision. Our second key area is stealth, which is not only about improving the readability and consistency of enemy detection, but also providing choice in how you want to approach each encounter. Finally, our third area of focus is centered around the character controls, which means improving the reliability of cover, increasing the responsiveness of climbing and crouching, and generally improving the consistency of the controls overall. You can expect to see more details about how we will be celebrating and embracing player choice more than ever before, whether it's sneaking through encounters, going in blaster blazing, or everything in between. We will provide more specific details about the changes to these areas and more in the upcoming weeks as we provide further updates to you. All of this will culminate in the release of the title update 1.4, which will release on November 21st alongside the Steam launch and first story pack, Star Wars Outlaws Wildcard. Well, I will say that it's a good thing that they are communicating with the audience. They are reading what's wrong with the game and are at least trying to fix it. I know every company reads almost every bad thing about the game and they just choose to ignore the problems and wipe their tears with the money of the customers. But it's nice to see that they are now acknowledging the problems. Now whether it's too late for the game is hard to tell. They also might just be doing this because of the massive decrease in sales and their stock prices. Ubisoft are declining at a massive pace and it's all they're doing as well. Just look at the decisions they made over the past few years. Avatar and Star Wars might have been the wake-up call for them as they are now realizing that people will not just buy whatever garbage they throw at them. With some of the best games coming out from smaller companies like Black Myth Wukong, people are now realizing that good games, don't have to come from these big companies. But this move they did is a step in the right direction. Keep the people informed on how you want to and will improve the game. Know that your game isn't a perfect game that everyone will have to like and improve it. Just look at how No Man's Sky turned out. Horrible release, and now so many people are waiting for the new game from the company. People are saying that it's a desperate attempt at selling the game, making whatever money they can before moving on to a new project. Well, even if that's the case, it's good for the gamers. Because even if they don't do anything apart from these changes, the game will still be in a better state than it currently is. So the owners of the game will be happy. Ubisoft will look back upon it and say maybe making bad games isn't the right way to go after all. And so everyone else will be happy as well. And if they don't do that, well, we have seen what Star Wars went through, right? But one of the things that does surprise me is why have they released the NFT game? After all they did, making the announcement of improving the game, delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows to make it polished, finish up the game, make it feel like a AAA or quadruple A or whatever they're calling these days, and then go ahead and make a game that displeases everyone. I have no idea who makes these decisions. Maybe a 6-year-old who gets one trendy word from the internet which can make huge money overnight, and he's like, hey, we should do this for our next game. Well, whatever stupid decisions they make, we are all here to enjoy its downfall. Good luck having millions of players buying your $50,000 NFTs. I have been playing Ubisoft games from when they made Prince of Persia, and now seeing the state they are in is sad. I hope with Assassin's Creed Shadows, they can turn things around, although it's not looking too great. I do believe that they pushed back the release date because of all the negative attention it was getting. But now, if they remained as transparent, who knows, maybe they are really working hard to actually improve it and make it enjoyable. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this one? Will you buy Star Wars Outlaw with the new changes? Well, the good thing is, we won't have to wait long for the 1.4 update as it's coming out on November 21. Also, will you buy Assassin's Creed Shadows next year? Let me know. That's it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Also, YouTube recommends this video on your screen right now, which I think you'll like as well. See you in the next one.